Welcome back to Lean Revisions. My name is Ethan. In this section, I'm going to take you through what is known as waste in your process and defects in your process. I'm going to give you a good understanding of what those two concepts are and how they're affecting your business as we speak. Now, you might have heard of the 8 types of waste, also known as downtime. The downtime acronym helps you remember the things you want to look for when mapping out your process and when you're gathering data to uncover operational issues. Downtime helps you categorize and gather data on the 8 types of waste so you understand how waste is impacting your process and how much you really have in that system. Let's take a look at downtime so you can easily and effectively identify waste in your organization. The first letter D is for defects, efforts caused by rework, scrap, and incorrect information. Overproduction is the next one. Production that is more than needed or before it is needed. The W is for waiting, also known as idle time or search time. This includes looking for or harvesting files, waiting for files, instructions, approvals, data, signature, or materials. Average companies have up to 20 to 40% of this waste in their processes. The N is for non-utilized talent, which is putting people in positions that are far beneath their capabilities or expertise, or not optimizing their skills and knowledge. T is for transportation, excess travel distance of information, products, and materials. This is due to poor layout or product design, handoffs or movements to multiple organizations or locations. Next is inventory, excess information, products, and materials being stored and not processed. The M is for motion, the unnecessary movements by people due to poor ergonomics of workstation, excess walking, and information not located when and where needed. The last letter is E for extra processing, more work or higher quality work than is required by the customer. Now that we've reviewed the 8 types of waste and downtime acronym, let's take a quick minute and conduct a knowledge check. Select the correct answer from the following question. Which of the following is not one of the 8 types of waste? If you chose number 4, you are correct. Although unevenness, fluctuation, and variation can negatively impact operations, they are not considered one of the 8 types of waste. In this slide, you'll see what is known as a spaghetti diagram. It can be used to track any process in your workplace from start to finish. The diagram points out all the steps taken to produce your desired output of your processes and procedures. This is a simple way to visualize motion and distance traveled so that you can reorganize your flow for more efficiency. This is done by tracking the flow of steps, information, or material movement. Once documented, rearrange the area, cross-train the workforce to balance skills, and aim for one touch point from input to output. It is essential that your company knows exactly what processes are adding value to either the business or customers and distinguish that from activities that are not improving anything. There are 3 types of values within a process that need to be identified. They are customer value added, business value added, and non-value added. Customer value added is essential to deliver the product or service. Business value added is usually required by law or regulation. And non-value added is typically the 8 types of waste we previously reviewed in this section. A typical organization has around 5% of value-added steps. The goal is to eliminate as much non-value and business value activities as possible while optimizing the customer value added as much as possible. Now let's change direction and look at what is a defect. A defect is also a type of waste in your process. By definition, a defect is any type of undesirable result. It is anything that creates havoc, chaos, rework, or something that a customer is not going to accept because it doesn't work right. A defect is also known as a failure to conform to requirements, coming from Dr. Crosby in his book, Quality is Free, whether or not those requirements have been articulated or specified. Sometimes we don't even know what the customer expectations are and we're creating defects. We want to make sure that we understand anything that is a non-conformance to the intended usage requirement. Now, you might also have a product that is defective. Products can have multiple defects before they're considered defective. Let's say you buy a car and it has a couple of scratches. Those are defects. It's not a defective car, it still runs. Now let's say your car's transmission breaks or the engine blows. Now you have a defective product. See the difference? It describes an entire unit that fails to meet acceptance criteria regardless of the number of defects. Sometimes it's user-defined or customer-defined, but an item that is defective can have multiple defects before it becomes defective, so keep that in mind. Let's take a minute and conduct one more quick knowledge check. Select the correct answer from the following questions. 1. What are the 8 major wastes in the downtime acronym? Defects, overproduction, waiting, non-utilized talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. 2. If a car has faulty lights, would it be considered a defect or defective? And the answer to question 2 is the faulty lights would be considered a defect. Join me in our next white belt section as I take you through Six Sigma white belt roles and responsibilities. I'm Ethan Liggett here at Lean Revisions. Thank you.